There are two main aspects of data security to focus on when it comes to generative AI. First of all, is whether a model is training on your data or not. That is a key question. A second question is what is the retention of said data, whether or not it's being trained on. For example, using the default version of ChatGPT, if you just go to chatgpt.com, start typing things in, you're not logged in, you haven't made any configuration changes, your data is being trained on and indefinitely retained, especially because there's no way to trace it back to you for you to make a request to get rid of it. So that's one extreme. However, if you have a zero data retention agreement in place with OpenAI and you're using their application programming interface, all the prompts that you're sending to OpenAI and all the responses are being deleted after they're being processed according to OpenAI. Again, you need to rely on representations from the company. And there hasn't been any indications that they're not doing what they said. A related risk that has surfaced is in the middle of last year, a court demanded that OpenAI retain millions of conversations related to alleged copyright infringement of New York Times content. And that created a risk of concentration of information, of potential indefinite retention for that data. That is certainly something to think about, making sure that you have the right representations up front and that you know what your supplier is doing with your data is definitely important.